At some point in your life, you have faked something. For an excuse, maybe the reason is important. Maybe it's not important. We want to hear your stories about faking stuff, faux stuff. 800-520-1067. Any story that involves you faking, we've all heard the story of the time Allie faked her mom having a brain injury so she could get out of a speeding ticket or something. Is that what that was?
No, it wasn't a speeding ticket. I had a show that I had to do. It was in tech rehearsals, but then I had booked a commercial, and I wanted to do the commercial instead of, and I couldn't just say, well, I booked something else, and I would rather do this. So I made up a horrible story about my mom having a brain tumor that had to be removed, and then my mom had to show up to opening night in a fake headscarf.
Yes, she made her mom bandage her head.
It was so shameful. I feel really bad about that.
Didn't you also fake being handicapped so you could get in front of the people at the airplane?
Look, I was slightly handicapped. I just also have...
We know that.
What does that mean?
There's a spot for me, too, in the parking lot, okay?
Charles, welcome to the Faux-lympics. What did you fake? And we will decide if it's medal worthy or not. We're only going to give away one gold medal in the Faux-lympics here at KROQ. Phone number to join, 800-520-1067. Call and or text. What's up, Charles?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, good morning. What's up, guys?
What's up? What is your Faux-lympics story?
So pretty much, I just lied about my age to date an older lady.
You wanted to date an older lady, and how old were you, and how old did you claim to be?
I was about 27, and she was like 43.
Wow.
So
how old?
She had a whole family of she had 6 kids, and her oldest was no idea, was almost his age.
You were the age of this woman's oldest son, so you had to lie and say you were older?
Yeah, pretty much.
So how old did you say you were?
I said I was 35.
Oh, that's a good one to fake.
I mean, that's not... 27 to 35 is
Well, that's 8 years. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. And eventually, if they'd stayed together, I could see how that'd be a problem. If you start a relationship under a false pretense of age, imagine you've got to stick with that for a while. That's got to be tough when you finally come clean,
Yeah,
right?
but I also wonder for this mom if she would have been like, cool, you're 27. You know, what if she was like, oh, that's cool, I'm hooking up with a younger man. Maybe he didn't need to lie.
I was on a first date with this girl one time, and she hated me. I could tell very quickly. We had nothing in common. And then she was talking about how much she loved cats. And I guess I had said that I also like cats. And you know me, Allie, I don't like cats.
Nope.
So she made some comment. I guess I was half listening to the point where she basically thought that I had cats. She basically thought that I was an owner of cats, had my own cats. And I swear to you, at some point it got to it where I think that it's the only thing that got me a second date with her was this idea that I had cats and she would get to meet them.
Why would you want to go on a second date with this person if you had nothing in common?
Because she was hot.
Oh.
And I really wanted to sleep with her. And
Do you think it's more complicated than that, Omar?
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, what a stupid question. So I got to a point, Allie, where I had a friend that had cats, and I asked if they would let their cats come and be in my apartment when I got back.
No way.
Yeah, because this woman now thought I had cats. And then she was like, I'll come meet the cats. And I kind of thought that was she was saying that, but maybe she really wanted to sleep with me.
God, why is she so obsessed with your cats? No, this is getting weird.
So that was me in a costume there. So
Good girl. Good girl.
My friend did agree to bring the cats by, but I had no other things that a cat owner would have. Nothing. I didn't have a kitty litter box. I didn't have cat toys.
Random cats in there.
They're potty trained.
I had nothing. So.
And they're probably freaked the F out because then they're in an unfamiliar place.
Right.
And they're just hiding under the bed, freaked out.
And the cats also didn't know me, so they hated me. I was like, oh, here they are.
Did you make up their names?
Oh, the whole.
What were their names?
Thing.
Do you remember their fake
Belly
names?
and Buttons.
Belly?
Yeah, because I just go.
You just look at something?
Yeah, I was like, Belly Button. We'll go with Belly and Buttons. They sound like cat names. And I think she learned pretty quickly that the cats wanted nothing to do with me. And
she probably thought, oh, if your cats hate you, then everyone probably does.
Yeah, so we ended up not. I think we kissed, and then that was it. But it was a lot to go through. But I faked being a cat owner, which is a legitimate... If you're going to really commit to being a fake cat owner, you got to really commit to it.
And what a good friend that they're willing to drop off the cats for you.
Let's say hi to... let's go to 626. Welcome to the Faux-lympics. What is your story? Sometimes you faked something at some point in your life, and now you will potentially win a medal. for the greatest faker of all time. What happened?
Well, I was with my cousin, and we were at Disneyland. And what happened was we got really sloshed, and my cousin faked like a sprained ankle. So we were being followed by security, and I didn't know he was faking it. I thought this guy, we went down steps, he was like, oh, my ankle, oh. And then I was like, he takes a seat, and security's right there. And they're like, you okay? You okay? And he's like, no, my ankle really hurts. He's like, I can't walk. And they're like, okay, well, we could call you a cab, blah, blah, and get you to the front. And so we end up going to the front, and we get in a cab, and we leave. And I'm like, man, this is just the worst day. Then when we also get dropped off at a bus stop because our cars are still.
No, this story is going nowhere fast. I would have rather gone with your limpy cousin than sat through more of that. I don't know where you were heading with that. Try to speed up the story a little bit so we can get to these people. This is supposed to be a competition of the greatest fakers of all time.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jimmy. You're on KROQ. Good morning.
Hey, Jimmy, good morning.
Oh, my God.
What's wrong with people
What
today?
is happening?
Are you Jimmy or am I Jimmy? Because now I'm confused.
I was faking you.
Oh, okay. Got it.
This
All
is
right, cool.
Klein. He has a cat named Belly and Button.
Belly and Buttons are my cats. Let's get it straight. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay.
You're on KROQ.
Okay, so long story short.
Thank God.
Thank you.
I applied for a world tour on a cruise ship. Okay, so I became a finalist. And then they had 10 people in a room, and they interviewed us. And everybody had their little stories. And so I just said, screw it. I'm a war veteran.
Oh, no.
and I'm not. And I won the tour, and I went around the world.
You want to cruise around the world because you faked being a veteran?
Yeah, but I didn't say I was in the military. I'm from the streets.
So you said you're a veteran.
A veteran of the streets.
Of the streets?
All right. Listen, I guess if that's how you implied it, I'm sure that's not how they took it.
God, but then is everybody saying, oh, this guy won because he's a veteran, and you're having to make up all these stories on the cruise?
Probably. That's wild. Jose, you're on KROQ. Hi.
Hey, sweet dibs, guys.
Sweet dibs.
So when I was in the military, there was an earthquake in the country where my family is from, and nobody that I really knew was affected by it. As a matter of fact, it was hundreds of miles away from where they were. And one of my superiors gave me the idea that I should tell my command that my family was involved in it. And so I went with it. I started bawling, and they gave me a week off. And I just went home and pounded beers and had a good time.
Wow.
When a tragedy happens at a place that you have a connection to and no one was affected by that tragedy.
But people are checking in with you like, hey, is your family okay?
Yeah,
What's
you can
going
use that
on?
as an excuse. That is technically a faker's wet dream. Hey, Sarah, you're on the Faux-lympics. It's KROQ, Klein Alley Show, talking about the greatest fakes you've ever pulled in your life. What's up?
Okay, so my dog got out. The dog catcher got it. I cried. I must have been 9 years old. The dog catcher wouldn't let my dog out. Asked for my parents. I told them, I'm so sorry. My mom has cancer. My dad had to take her to go get treatment. The dog catcher felt so bad. Give me back my dog. But my parents had just gone to the market.
Wow. Oh, they just gone into the market. I see. Yeah. That's such an aggressive fake out just because they were going to take your dog. It's like, cancer. You go immediately to cancer.
Wait, doesn't the dog catcher, if there's an owner there, aren't they required to just give the dog back to the owner, though?
Some of the dog catchers, I've learned in
I
cartoons.
think if you're a kid, a 9-year-old kid, that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bigger enemy to a child than the dog catcher, because in every cartoon, it's
I
just
didn't even know that was a real thing.
fat guy with a giant net who runs around. Yeah, I didn't even think that was a real job. That was something that went away with travel agents. They don't have them anymore. Let's say hi to Yvette on KROQ. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What is your greatest fake you ever pulled? It is the Faux-lympics, celebrating the times we fake things.
Oh, I'll win. I faked having a seizure when I got pulled over.
Whoa.
Okay,
That requires physical acting.
So what happened? You got pulled over for what? Speeding?
It did. I was actually on my phone.
Okay.
I am now. But
And you've learned you've learned your
As
lesson.
I'm driving on my phone.
All right, and you get pulled over, and you decide. Did you have this pre-planned, or was this a spur of the moment? Let's fake a seizure for the cop.
very spur of the moment because my license was suspended at the time.
Oh, boy.
Why was your license suspended?
I just didn't go to court one day.
Yeah, I get
see.
it. That's
Okay,
fine. Don't
all
ask those follow-ups, Allie. We all know the answer.
Okay, so what? They pull you over and they roll down the window and you're like pretending to seize up?
I totally, just like my tongue was almost out. I was shaking. I mean, it was a scene. I'm kind of dramatic, but
Wait, really?
Called an
Can't
ambulance.
tell.
Let's roll.
he called
Let's
an ambulance.
let's recreate this now and see how good you were. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know why I pulled you over?
And I said, no, I don't.
All right.
He
Well,
said, you were on your phone.
you were on your phone.
And I said, no, I wasn't. And he goes, I saw you. And I said, okay. Then I just started kind of shaking a little bit. He goes, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And I pretended like I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Literally shaking. He goes back. He goes, hold on, I'll get you help. And I'm thinking, okay, he's just going to let me go. Nope. Called an ambulance. Ambulance got there.
And then what happened? They checked you and they said this woman never had a seizure?
They said,
How long
we
did you
don't
play
know
this?
what's wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong. So they kept me in the hospital for 3 days. Trying to figure out what?
Oh man, this could be our gold medalist
That's a
right
gold
here.
That's
medal
commitment.
moment.
Hey, you committed to
The
that.
bill was 10 times a ticket.
That is the Katie Ledecky.
You really are the Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, because that's a 1,500 meter. That's a long play, man.
Thanks for eavesdropping in on our radio show, you perverts.
Yeah. When you're not being reported by your neighbors, you can check out the podcast or the live show on KROQ or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right, which apparently is a lot of places. Find Klein Alley's show and listen to this show in its entirety. Plus, if you download and subscribe, we will save a puppy from being executed.
Oh my God, there's puppies being executed?
Oh, there goes another one.
Oh, those are high stakes.